This is the Syntech console bag. It is designed specifically for the PlayStation 5 as a clever and effective way to move your console around while protecting it. So, is it any good? And who is it for? Upon receipt, the item is packaged very simply. As you can see here, it is in a plastic bag. It's not the greatest unboxing experience, as it is neither premium nor environmentally friendly, with local councils unable to recycle plastic of this variety. What it does do, however, is its job in protecting the bag. This plastic bag was dirty and scuffed on receipt, but the bag inside was in pristine condition. First impressions of the bag itself are decent. The external material, while being very nylon-based on feel, seems to be well constructed and possibly capable of taking a beating. The bag is divided into smart compartments that each fill a role for carrying your console around. There is the large and padded main pocket, meant to take the console. This is built to size, so offers a secure and snug fit for your PS5, and is then padded on all surroundings. You have this thick box padding around the four main edges of the bag, made from what feels like memory foam, and standard padding that goes against the faceplates of the console. The straps wrap around the console like a hug to keep it in place during transport. These straps are your usually expected elastic and Velcro combo. Now, I would personally like to see a more secure fastening option here, but I understand the design choice. A D-ring or clasp buckle, for example, could scratch and damage a console, so the Velcro offers the softest option directly against the console itself. You just have to be aware going in, therefore, that this does place some form of shelf life upon these fastenings. But this bag isn't a one-trick pony. Up front here is a neat little zip pocket that you can stuff your wine gums or jelly babies into. Not sponsored, I just love those sweets. What this pocket is actually designed for, though, is your console peripherals. On the left, you have an elastic and mesh pocket for your headset. The 3D pulse fits really nicely and is secured by another Velcro strap. On the right is a flap that reveals a place for your DualSense controllers. The Velcro flap peels back, revealing two separate slots for controllers to go into before folding the flap back over. Cables are in yet another pocket, again very nicely designed. There is a mesh zip pocket and multiple elastic straps. Whether you're carrying HDMI cables, hard drives, power and charging cables, whatever the case may be, there is a way to secure these options in this pocket. Finally, we have the back pocket that goes against your body. The official paperwork says this pocket is for a tablet, but my Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra that I make all of this content on is too big for that pocket. Any smaller tablet, however, should fit no worries. It's also perfect for a Switch in handheld mode to bring even more gaming with you. Or maybe even that PlayStation handheld accessory, the Portal. Fitting an entire console, its peripherals, cables, additional entertainment or workflow options, and some additional PlayStation accessories into a single bag is no mean feat. And when full, the bag is not unwieldy. Yes, there's a bit of weight to it, as is to be expected with a 4K machine sitting inside, but it's not too much for the user or the bag. A big portion of that comes down to this strap. Between big, heavyweight and durable metal carabiners, a strong woven strap and thick padding that spreads the weight on the shoulder, this is honestly one of the best messenger bag straps I have ever come across. This is the standard that I am used to. A flimsy plastic clip on a plastic buckle. Metal carabiners and extremely well-sewn leatherette straps on the bag itself provide a hugely elevated sense of confidence in this bag's ability to carry my precious console. But is it just for the PS5? Because if so, that is a pretty narrow use case for a pretty expensive bag. Now, design-wise, yes it is. But if we're being honest here, we are consumers. Most things that we buy end up having 3 or 4 different uses alongside their original use case that prompted their purchase. My 3D Pulse headset, for example, is used for my editing flow and, in my full-time job, work calls, as well as PlayStation game audio from the PlayStation 5. The purchase case for this bag is obvious. Move your console around neatly and easily. But at $45.99 US, you're going to want this bag to do more than just take a singular console to other places. What if I want to take a different console? My PlayStation 4, as an example. This is actually very easy. This console is far smaller than the PS5, so fits in the bag easily. The secure fastenings are a touch questionable on older consoles. The Wii is fairly loose in here, for example. But the design does lend itself to other consoles easily when it is designed for the biggest there has ever been. Thankfully, this can also operate as a very decent overnight and weekend bag. The main pocket is large enough to pack a few days' worth of clothes, grooming products, and a pair of shoes. And then you have all the other pockets for chargers, laptops, sunglasses, and whatever other accessories you require for your stay away. While designed for the PlayStation 5, it can easily become quite a versatile bag thanks to, primarily, that huge main compartment. Running errands around town, even doing a top-up shop at the supermarket, the bag easily lends itself to these activities. That versatility makes the $46 price tag much more bearable. It means you can take your console with you to wherever you're going, and then still have a day bag to take along with you. All in one item. But here's my big challenge. My PlayStation 5 has never left my house since arriving. So the question becomes, who is such a bag for? It doesn't feel like it's for me, a homeowner, or for me, the content creator. At least, not as I currently create content. Having a house means I don't need to move my console around, and I love it that way. The furthest these things go is elsewhere in said house, for which this bag then feels a touch redundant and overkill. But with even just a little more thought on the matter, you realise that there is an audience, and it is much bigger than first anticipated. For as great as something like remote play on a device like the Portal can be, this isn't really going to be a long-term feasible solution for, say, an offshore rig worker or a university student. We've all seen those luxury HGV setups. Remote play isn't properly feasible there, or for live-in teachers, city planners and construction workers, renters who are often short-term in a property, boarding schools and summer camps, crews and flight crews. There are a litany of use cases where someone wants to have a gaming experience with them, and remote solutions aren't an option. Under normal circumstances, it is difficult and cumbersome to take their console with them. This bag changes that though, because the whole setup, and more besides, is in one bag. Pack one thing, grab one thing, and it's all with you for all of your time, wherever that is, away from home. There's confidence in the security of the console and accessories in the bag. They shouldn't get damaged in transit or storage, and they're easy to set up and strip down. For scenarios such as university students or those live-in teachers, the bag can then be used for your day-to-day requirements. Books, notepads, pens, and even a laptop or tablet, all in this one bag that has so many other uses besides. Now, the official paperwork tells you to only use this bag for the PS5 console, as using it for other activities may diminish its protective capabilities. But if we're honest with ourselves, we know that using this bag for one very specific thing is never going to happen, and use case options being wide-ranging make it much more feasible for that $46 price tag. So what are my overall thoughts? It obviously isn't for everyone. I wouldn't buy one for myself because I have no need for it. But for people who own a PlayStation 5 or even a smaller console, which is the rest of the market, and need to move it around between locations, and want to protect said console as much as possible, it has a lot of allure. $46 is a small price to pay to protect your $500 investment in transit. The fact that it is a bag automatically gives it multiple use cases as well, that you don't have to go searching for or create, making that cost even more palatable. But is it worth that cost? The bag is a premium design and construction. It's waterproof, tear-resistant, ergonomic, and well thought out. If I am ever in a position where I need to move the PlayStation long distances, I will use the bag and I will be very glad to have it. That speaks volumes and states that from an item perspective, it is worth the cost. But my experience of actually receiving this one wasn't great. I'd have to warn anyone outside of the US buying one to be very, very patient in receiving it and persistent with their communication with customer service. This bag took 6 weeks to reach me. It had many failed dispatch attempts, missing tracking numbers, stock shortages, and eventually came to me from Amazon rather than direct. I would hope that the experience is better for a paying customer, but I must state that the service team were professional and always willing to help and resolve the matter in any contact that I had with them. I only have my personal experience to draw from. It was slow to be received, but it was received, and the customer service team were excellent. So exercise patience going into this if you do decide to buy it, and buy a good amount of time ahead of when you actually need it. Other than those delivery foibles, I have only positive things to say about this item. It nicely surprised me, and it caters to a demographic that I hadn't thought of before. I think it is a well-made and designed, and I think it's worth the $46 price tag, even with the slow worldwide delivery. Overall, a positive buy for anybody needing to move a console around. This review was produced after 2 weeks testing of the Syntech PS5 console bag review unit provided by Syntech. This video is completely impartial. While Syntech provided the review unit, they have no copy approval or early preview of the contents of this video. If they do see it, they will see it for the first time right alongside you. I would like to thank you all very much for tuning in. If you've liked this video, I think these will also be of interest to you. In the meantime, my name is Doragon. You can find me on threads at Doragon86 or in the Discord in the description. And until next time folks, have yourselves a fantastic day and take care.